Hello, it's Christina again. We just tried to connect a minute ago, had an issue, so I am reconnecting today. So hopefully the internet is better now. Sorry, I'm a little bit discombobulated. So I am Christina with Leads and Leverage, and I'm coming to you today with a live stream. We're going to talk about controlling our business so that it doesn't control us. Shaping our business around the life that we want, because that's really important. We often get lost in the sea of the industry, and so I really wanted to talk about how to shape your real estate business, our real estate businesses, around what we wanted and the reason that we got into it in the first place. All right, so if you're watching me in replay, you're not here with me live, yay, Rebecca made it. Please let me know, just comment, let me know you're seeing this. I like to get to know you guys. That's why I do live streams, so that I can get to know you. And I think this is the best way, aside from me traveling all over the country and coming to your house. So please do comment. If you're here live, let me know that you're here. Tell me where you guys are from. Hey, Tammy, hey, Rebecca. Tell me where you're from, where you're popping in from. It's Tuesday in the middle of, well, actually, it's the first week of June, really. The first full week of June, and it's really hot here. I know there are a few other places that are cold, but we're hot. The weather's hot, and I like it. I love any weather, but I really like the sun. So today we're really going to talk about not living in other people's expectations. We're going to live in our own expectations. And that's really kind of at the crux of what I want to talk about on here. But it's so much more than that. It's being able to control our schedule, having boundaries about what we're doing and when we're doing it. And you guys, I am the first person to tell you that this is absolutely possible and viable. You can shape your real estate business around your personal life, what your personal dreams are. How are you guys? I know there are several of you on. A couple have commented. I haven't seen anybody else actually come in, and sometimes Facebook tells me, most of the time they don't. So comment below and let me know kind of maybe where you're from, or you know what, actually tell me why you got into real estate. Just give me in the comments, why did you get into real estate? Was it to make money? Was it to have time freedom? Was it to, think beyond, help people buy their dream? Think beyond. What's the real underlying reason you got into real estate? And definitely just share with me. For me, it was flexibility. I absolutely wanted flexibility, and I wanted financial stability. I wanted, and I know that sounds funny, financial stability in real estate, but it felt like when I got into it, I knew that I could have the flexibility and the finances that I wanted for my life. So why did you initially, what were your dream reasons for getting into real estate? And I don't care if it's, hey, I saw a lot of people saw a lot of houses and I wanted to make me some bucks. That's okay. It's all good. Rebecca says, because it is the only job that I can make what I am making on my own time. Bingo. Running my own business with minimal overhead and liability. Fabulous. Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. Time freedom, money, and long-term job without having to worry about being downsized. Yes. It's funny, we think about security coming in the form of an actual job, but security, it's different for everybody. But for me, I feel much more secure controlling my own business. Flexibility and unlimited earning potential to free me up to help others. Awesome. Yeah, those are all, that's, most people I think get in for the flexibility and the finances. That's really what we get in for. But what we quickly discover is that it seems as if there's neither flexibility nor quick finances, quick money. It takes a lot of work. So we're working a lot of hours, and, it's not as easy as we people think it looks like. It's not, nothing is. It takes work, it takes focus, it takes structure, etc. But I think what we get into is we kind of get controlled by everyone else, and we forget our underlying reason why we're in it. So one of the things that I really wanted to share with you guys, I know a lot of my members know kind of my story. But there's a lot of new people on here that you might not know that I know that you can build a real estate business around the life you want. And I'm just going to tell you a tiny little excerpt. About 4 years ago, in fact, 4 years ago this week, we decided as a family, we have 4 boys, and at the time we had 4 cats and 1 dog. And we decided as a family, we'd gone through some really rough patch as a family, and we decided, you know what? Our priority here is to really deepen our relationship with each other. So we're going to buy an RV and we're going to travel the country and we're going to run our real estate business from our RV wherever we are in the country. We're going to keep it. We kept our real estate business here in North Idaho. So people thought we were nuts. They were like, gosh, are you rich? Or, oh my goodness, are you homeless? I mean, it was like both extremes. Instead of, oh, maybe they're just generating leads and referring them out. That's what we were doing, by the way. You know, it was just kind of from the extremes. But my point was that we saw a need in the relationships in our family, and we decided to go for it. So we did it. We bought an RV Memorial Day weekend 4 years ago, and we had our house rented, and we were out on the road by the first week of July. So we did it fast. It was about 5 weeks. And then we were out for about 16 months, 17 months. Yeah. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 months. So, you know, it was my point with all of this is whatever what you want your life to be like, you can make this happen. And I'm going to go backwards just a little bit to give you an idea of how we got there, because, you know, really, if you decide that you're going to go take an 18-month quote unquote perceived vacation, you still have to work. Perceived vacation, you got to have prep work to make that happen. Rebecca says, people always having so many opinions on things that don't concern them when it comes to personal family choices. Yes, they do. It's very funny. Yeah, like I said, we traveled in our RV and we got the extremes. People going, oh my gosh, you are so rich. And we're just like, okay, we have a 15-year-old RV, and at the time our car was, I think, 7 years old. So, I mean, and now we still have that car. It's 11 years old. But I mean, my point was, it was interesting because they couldn't conceptualize how they could make this happen for them. That's the other thing, you guys. You know, traveling in an RV or traveling in general, whatever you want, may not be your dream, but what is your dream? For us, it started out as, you know what? We don't want to waste a moment away from our kids. So we want to be in a business that allows us to have the flexibility to be with them. At the same time, I'm a second-generation realtor, and I know exactly what real estate can do to you if you get caught up in it. And I knew that we did not want to work Sundays. So when my husband got into it with me, we were like, no Sundays. We are not working Sundays. We're also not going to be working past 6 p.m. during the week. We have our family to think about. And these were all decisions we made. And I'm hoping that you guys are not sitting there, well, I can't do that. What I'm hoping is you're going, you know what? I'm going to work Sundays, but every Wednesday I'm taking off no matter what. My point is that you dedicate whatever it is that you want to do and create whatever you want. This is not you having to create my life, but I'm trying to give you an idea of the freedom that you can create for yourself. And the other thing we decided was that we're not doing anything that doesn't have a tangible return, a tangible return. And one of those things for us was open houses. We're not going to sit there. We don't care how many people come through. What we care about are how many leads we collect in our database. That's what we cared about. So anything that we did, we made sure that's what we had a tangible, trackable, measurable way to determine if it was valuable for us or not. So when we started this, it was a couple years before. So it was about 2009. Started coaching with a coach who was not your normal coach. We didn't want the typical, you need to make X amount of calls, you need to do X amount of pop-bys. We didn't want that kind of coach. We wanted a coach to help us shape our business, help us decide what we wanted and help us shape our business. That's what we wanted. We wanted more of a productivity coach than an accountability coach. So if that's what you're looking for in a coach, you need to make sure you're thinking about that. But what we did was, he started getting us to really think about what did we want. And at the time, we wanted to have a real estate team in North Idaho, and we wanted to have a real estate team in Southern California, because we thought, we're like, well, gosh, we're Disney nuts. I'm just going to reveal that right now. Our happy place is Disneyland. That's just what it is. So that's our happy place. We like Disney cruises. We like everything Disney. And we've done other things. We traveled the world, traveled in our RV, but we really like Disney. So at the time, it was like, well, if we're in Southern California when it's colder up here and we're up here when it's warmer down there, we get the best of both worlds. So we started thinking, well, if we're going to do that, what does that look like? What does that mean we have to do right now in our business right now? And at the time, we needed to go as mobile as possible. Now, this was 2009, 2010. The concepts were there, but it wasn't quite as easy as it is now. But then this is what happened, you guys. This is the beauty of it all. As we progressed, as we started making our business more mobile, as we started working with more and more people online versus face-to-face, we realized that we don't want to build another team. We don't want to do that. That's not what we wanted to do. So we did something different. We just kept bringing in, increasing our leads capture, increasing our lead conversion so that we could refer everything out. We didn't want to nurture them through. We wanted to refer them out. So that's what we did. We started building our business that direction. So by the time that we just flippantly decided to do this, we were about 95% already mobile. It was so easy for us to just go right and beyond and go mobile. So my point is that whatever your dream is, whatever that is, if you've got kids and they're on sports teams, if they're in swim meets or soccer or whatever, and you really just want to have the time with them and you don't want to be exhausted, and you want to travel with them wherever their stuff's going, you can shape your business around that. Absolutely. So some of the things you need to do are think about what kind of leverage do I need? Is it a software leverage? Is it a person leverage? What kind of leverage do I need to make that happen? And start rethinking your business into an aspect of, well, what do I need to do versus what can I outsource? So now in Leads and Leverage, and we did our traveling and we realized that my deep happy place is helping other agents, other real estate agents, kind of kick some booty in the industry and be counterculture to the industry, living what they want, not what they think other people want them to live. And that's my passion. And so when we developed Leads and Leverage, we started out knowing that, guess what? We were going to be a business that didn't talk on the phone, that didn't take phone calls. Oh, how can you do that? You build a business around it. You make it happen. We were going to be a business that I did not travel a lot to speak. And that's so contrary. We're still kicking some counterculture booty. We're still against the culture in this industry. A lot of trainers go out and speak. I don't do that. My priority is time with my family and all of this, time with my family. Now, we've done some traveling and some stuff, but I'm not going to get on the speaking circuit. So my point with all of this is there is an industry norm for every industry, including real estate. There's an industry norm. There's the idea that we need to be working 24/7, that we need to always be responding to emails, that we need to be available and call leads back within 5 minutes, that we must do open houses on Saturdays and Sundays, that we must be open to showing buyers properties on Sundays, etc. No, you don't need to do that. You set what you want. If you want 2 days off every week and you want those 2 days to be every Sunday and Monday, then by golly, make that work for your business. If you find that going to sales meetings, this is why brokers don't like me, that going to sales meetings at your office are just a chore for you and a drudgery, and you're not seeing an actual ROI, a return on investment for going to these outside of talking around the water cooler about Breaking Bad or whatever heck is playing right now, don't go. Don't go to them. This is your business, you guys. And I want you to feel empowered and know that you can build your business. And if your broker does not support you building your business, you need to kick them to the side and get a different broker. That's pretty much, you're paying, if you are producing, you're paying them. You're paying them for the services they're providing to you. They are not your boss. They're not your boss. And I actually recommend not using your broker as your mentor or as your coach or as your teacher. I recommend not using your broker as that, because they have a vested interest in making sure you do things that they think make them money. You need someone who wants to invest in your business. So if you're paying your coach, they want to help you succeed. They want to see you have your outcome the way you want your outcome to be. So I'm throwing a lot of stuff out here. This is one of the reasons that I don't tend to speak for brokerages or franchises. because I believe that they're there to serve us as agents, and they think that we're there to serve them in a lot of ways. Not all of them, guys. This is just a blanket statement, a cliche statement. So I'm not here to disparage them so much as I am here to help you realize that you're the one in control of your life. You're the one in control of your business. You got to take action. You got to take action. You got to set your boundaries, and you need to stick to what you passionately believe is important for your life. Oh no, Rebecca said I paused just as I was getting to the good Disney stuff. Are you seeing me? Can you guys make some comments? Am I paused? Is it pretty crazy still? The good Disney stuff. I am a Disney freak, Rebecca, so I'm hoping that you're seeing this. I hope I didn't pause too much. Would you guys make a comment or click like or something so I can see that something's going on? So if I did have a pause, that would be a bummer. If you guys would do that, that would be great. Haley says, seeing you and loving it, so we're good. So I hope I didn't lose Rebecca. Good, I'm glad you saw that, Haley. Okay, so Rebecca, let me know the minute you get. I'm also looking on my computer to see if maybe something's popping up there, but it looks like Haley's. Tammy said there was a pause, but it started back up again. Okay, good. Okay. And I'm getting the stuff just a couple seconds delayed, but I'm getting them. Good. Okay, good. Good, you guys. Awesome. Looking good. Okay, so I also know, and I'll be the first to admit, I was guilty of this. I was guilty of this, of full-time agents judging part-time agents. And because I was always a full-time agent, I came into this full-time. That's just what I did. And if you are a part-time agent, and I want to encourage you guys, if you're a part-time agent, just turn away from those agents. I didn't make comments to people. In my mind, I was judging, I guess, in a way that I thought that they didn't have the dedication, but at the same time, they just didn't have the capital really to get started. Or maybe it was a spouse just wanting to bring in a part-time income. Whatever that is, I want to encourage you, part-time agents, that yeah, you can make this work how you want it to work for your business and your life. And yes, I absolutely believe that there is higher efficacy in more transactions. The more transactions you do, the more you can spot the crap, the more you can spot the mistakes, the more you understand and know. It's like surgeries. However, that doesn't mean as part-time agents, it doesn't mean you don't know what you're doing. So don't let people make you feel that way. I just want to make sure, don't let people make you feel that way. This is about you. This is about your chosen life. This is about how you're shaping your business around your life. So go for it. Do what you need to do. Don't feel guilty if you can't make something, like a meeting and things like that. So on that note too, also this is for both part-time and full-time agents, if you are missing things that you should be going to, and when we prioritize this, I'm talking about, I do not consider office sales meetings a priority. I have yet to be at an office where the sales meetings actually were truly beneficial for my business or my clients. There's a lot of pitching of properties. There's a lot of, lighthearted training. And I know there's a lot of franchises on here, but we have awesome training. Yeah, I've been the trainer in some of those awesome trainings. You cannot get the depth of training that you need in the 15, 20, 45 minutes that you're getting the training in. Not possible. What it's doing is putting a lot of shiny objects in your path or distraction in your path. If you're not on that path to implement whatever they're talking about, you're implementing something else. It's just a distraction. It's not your time involved. So what I'm trying to tell you is you really need to weigh the time that you're using and how you're using it. And if you want dedicated, like if you want Sundays off, guess what you got to do? You got to actually work on the other days that you're supposed to be there working. And you need to actually be putting in your main thing. What is it? Stephen Covey says, make sure that your main thing, or keep your main thing, or something along those lines. And Gary Keller is like, focus on your one thing. You need to know what your one thing is, though, in order to focus on it. Your one thing is not lead generation. That's too big and global of a lead generation. What kind of lead generation is your one thing? So if you haven't read the book, The One Thing, please go read it and go through it and actually apply it. It's really good. It was pivotal for me. And it's made other trainings, other future stuff, much, much easier for me. So Rebecca's like, amen. So, okay. I kind of sounded like I was a downer on brokers. I'm not. I love brokers. They are awesome. They're supportive. And I just want to make sure that we aren't allowing someone else, broker, colleague, industry, someone outside our family, whoever that is, we're not allowing them to control our lives. We're not allowing their expectations to rule what we do. We control our expectations. So make sure that you're controlling your expectations. Make sure that you're setting your boundaries. It's not easy at first. I'll be flat out honest. When we first started, it wasn't that easy. And remember, I'm a second generation real estate agent. So guess what? It wasn't my broker that I was accountable to. I was already an ornery, independent, stubborn person. I wasn't going to listen to them. But guess who I had to answer to? I answered my dad. My dad, whom I love and admire and adore. And I had to tell him, look, we want a different life. We want to build our business differently than you. That's not easy. I dare say that's a little bit harder than telling your broker that, they can go pound sand because this is how you're going to run your business. Be nice. I was referring to that occasional broker who thinks they control you. Yeah, Haley says 4 months in for me and it's a hard start. It does, because there's so much. We don't know what to do. We hear all these things, send letters to our sphere of influence or make calls or, go do open houses or whatever. It takes work. And one thing we always need to remember is that whatever you do today is actually going to affect you in 100 days in real estate. So if you are not out actually bringing in people into your database today and helping the people who are already in your database go through their nurture and conversion process, if you're not doing that today, in 100 days, you're not going to have business. So that's hard. It takes time to get people into there. And then you've got to move them through that so that every day you're doing something. And I don't literally mean every day. Take Sundays off. Take another day of the week off. Take time off. I just mean that when we're actually doing something, we're actually doing something productive, effective. Rebecca said that was probably totally a Gary V move. Oh yeah, doing things different than my dad. Yeah. Well, and Rebecca, when I got into the business, I got in 95. So a nice, beautiful piece of paper that said I knew everything about marketing. And my dad was like, well, get into real estate with me and let's do marketing. You did all the marketing. I'm like, okay, let's do it. But it was also the advent of the internet. So I was like, well, guess what? Where we need to be on the internet. It paid off really well. Very nice. Love it. But it was just interesting because it was hard for him. He's all about face-to-face. That's what he did. That's why he was successful. I was always about face-to-face, but it wasn't video back then. It was websites and email. So it was just a little bit different. I was about a different kind of face-to-face. And it's a hard adjustment for people who don't understand that, yes, social media and video and email and websites can all be face-to-face if you actually treat them like face-to-face and not a way to just plop out your brochure and wave it in their face, if that makes sense. You actually have a relationship. What is the name of that book? It's called The One Thing by Gary Keller. It's really good. I think I moved it. I had it right by me. I moved it over. I actually have a 6-week kind of a group coaching program that I take a few agents through in Facebook Domination Secret in our membership, and I do it twice a year. Well, I've done it twice so far. I'll probably do it again in December. And we go through the one thing and change our business, change our life. It really is meant to restructure our focus. It's fabulous, fabulous book. Yeah, Rebecca says that is a great statistic because results are not immediate in real estate. They're not. And it's very, very hard when we're doing something and we don't get feedback on that something in some way. It's hard to keep doing it. And I think one of the reasons that social media is so awesome, and we think it's awesome even though it's not bringing business for a lot of us, is that we'll put something out and we'll get likes and comments and shares and go, woohoo, I getting some feedback and reaction. And in reality, we're not getting anything. We're just getting like superfluous noise. So that's a hard one. That's a really hard one. We want instant and we just have to push through. It takes about 6 weeks for consistency to become a habit. It takes, Gary Keller even says 61 days, really, but you really need to get through that first 5 or 6 weeks of whatever you're doing to really make sure something's going to work. You're welcome, Tammy. Hey, Kim. So I really, initially I just see a lot of agents who feel like they have to work Sundays. I asked on my personal profile probably a couple months ago now, and I do this about every 6 months. I ask who works, of the real estate agents that I know, who's working Sunday. And I want to ask that to get a response, but I don't want to put a judgment in it because we all choose our days off. But the reality is most agents feel like they have to work Sundays. So they work Sundays because they feel like they have to. And you don't want to have to do anything. You want to work when you want to work. Now, that doesn't mean we can go sip Mai Tais on a hammock on the beach every single day of the week. What a bummer. But when we work, we can control that. We can decide when that is. Me personally, I tend to really like taking late Saturday afternoons off all the way until Monday. I just tend to like that. I like to take Mondays off. For the most part, I'll do a little bit of work Monday morning, but I still like to do that off. It works really well with my family schedule. It works really well with my kids. I have one in the military who's in drill some weekends, and Mondays are usually free. We're not really involved in all of our activities. So for me, I like about midday Saturday until Monday evening. So what does that look like for you? And whatever that looks like for you, go ahead and do it. Make that happen. You're gonna have to kind of fight the culture a little bit. You're gonna get people who say you can't do that. We did for years. I mean, I was in the Real Talk forums and things like that back in the late 90s, early 2000s when they were all starting. And I would say things like, yeah, we don't work Sundays. And they're like, oh, you can't do that. How do you do that? I'm like, well, we do at the time we were still pretty low, doing right around 100, 125 transactions a year. And they didn't ever believe me. Oh, you can't do that and not work Sundays. Really? Okay. Come live my life and see. You can. You can. You guys, I just want you to know you can shape your business your way. It might take some creativity. One of the best books that I ever read a while back, this is going to sound funny, but it's called The 4-Hour Workweek. And it's by Tim Ferriss. And I know you've seen it, and probably people have gone, oh, I dream it. Don't think of it as in like, I'm only going to work 4 hours a week. Take it to a different extreme. Say, I'm only going to work 4 hours a day. So, really, what's your day look like? How productive are you? I have noticed I work comfortably about 6 hours a day, and anywhere from 5 to 6 days a week. That's because I know what my productivity levels are. I like getting up early. I like being at my desk working by 7 o'clock in the morning. I tend to take a little bit of about an hour break in the middle of the day, but then I'm productive. The minute in the afternoons, usually after my trainings, my head tends to be buzzing and I tend to be like not focusing. So guess what I do? I give myself permission to stop. Because I know that if I let myself stop, I can go and be productive in my relationships with my family, with my friends, and then I'll come back the next morning and get 3 times the amount done that I would even conceive of getting done in 1 hour that I would even conceive of getting done in the 2 hours I could have stayed sitting at my desk. So it's called giving yourself, Brendan Burchard calls, give yourself a break. He calls it that. Give yourself a break. If you're not getting something done, and you just know that from 3 to 5 every afternoon, you don't function as well, guess what? Go do something else. Go take a walk. Go do something totally different. Restructure your time to suit how you like to work. Just things like that. So anyway, so much here. So much stuff. We're about a half hour in. What questions do you guys have? What thoughts do you have? Yeah, just all of that. What do you think? I'm going to be quiet for a minute while I wait. I'm going to grab my drink of water and find out what you guys think. Just make a comment. Just got to make comments. So let me see. Let me get a good question on there. How many of you have heard that or believe that you have to be available or that you have to respond to a lead within 5 minutes? Yeah, exactly, Tammy. See, now, so Tammy, not working Sundays in your market is probably perfect because very, very high percentage of Mormons in the area. And so that's great in your market. Go with your market, you guys. Definitely. So Haley's definitely, yeah. Whoops. Rebecca says, does that mean I can take a nap? Yes, Rebecca, you can take a nap. You've been working. I would just make sure there is a trick to taking a nap in the afternoons. You don't want to take longer than about 40 minutes. You want just enough to give yourself a power nap, but not enough that you're groggy after and then you don't sleep well at night, because then that short nap or that longer nap will affect you tomorrow. So take just a 20 to 40 minute, even if you do it, I don't know if you meditate or not, but you could lead yourself into meditation, but laying down, which is awesome. Awesome, awesome. And just make sure you get yourself back up pretty quickly. Yes, Tom and Margaret, yes. Giving yourself a break is needed. Absolutely. We don't give ourselves enough from breaks like every hour, like just getting up and drinking water and walking for 30 seconds, to breaks after 6 or 7 hours of work, to breaks every week, to, a couple days off every month, to actually getting away with someone every 90 days. It could just be 3 days away locally, whatever it is, staycation. Just get away. If you have no money, go camping. Go to a friend's house, do a home exchange, something. Oh no, Rebecca says she lost me. It doesn't look like it's a bad connection on my side. So maybe it's a bad connection in her market. Any other questions, you guys? I just want I guess I wanted you to know that yes, whatever the reason that you got into real estate in the first place, you can make real estate work you can shape real estate so that you can have that reason. So I think most agents get in for flexibility and finances. It's perceived as easy money, and in a way it is easy money. You don't have to necessarily trade too much time for dollar like a regular quote unquote hourly job, but it takes work to get there. It does. But flexibility and finances are usually the two reasons that agents get in. And I just wanted you to know that you can go back to that dream, that reason that you had in there. You can do it. You don't have to do a ramping up period. When we started, when I got into real estate, I came in and I started working right with my dad. So in a sense, I didn't start out like most agents do. I wasn't on my own. I came in right away and we just, boom, I took what I knew to help him develop the whole thing. So it was a little bit different than other agents. And I recognize that, but starting Leads and Leverage, very much the same. I was on my own and I knew that, guess what? This needs to feed our family. This wasn't a second income. This wasn't, we gave up real estate completely, or we stopped real estate to do this. So this wasn't a leisure thing. But at the same time, I also knew that I am not going to work 12-hour days to make this happen. So I better be really productive in the amount of time I do have to work. And that is, I really want to empower you on that, really productive. Mark says, he's a new agent. If you had to do it all over again, where would you focus most of your time and energy? And it looks like my internet, looks like I have a little bit of a weak connection. So I'm still here. Give it time. Hopefully you'll hear me. I'm in a response. I'm talking on the still. Just a second, you guys. I'm back. I'm still there. I'm back. But connection is still I'm telling you guys what okay. So I want to make sure Mark, and Tom and Margaret, are you guys still, and everybody are you guys still on? I just want to make sure you're on. I want to answer your questions. I was trying to put notes on the computer so you guys knew I was still here, just waiting for the pause that Facebook does. Just comment and let me know you're still here. so that I can answer your questions for you. And Mark, I'm actually going to start with yours. If you had to do it all over again, where would you focus most of your time and energy? Honestly, I would I would do tests to find out what brings me business as quickly as possible. So to start out, you definitely want to do that. And if you think that you want to try open houses, do me a favor. Anything you do try, always be leveraging. So if you are going to sit an open house, first of all, leverage your time while you're at that open house. Don't just be there. Be doing some online lead generation, be doing some handwritten notes, whatever it is. It is all about connections, whether those are virtual connections or face-to-face connections. It's all about connecting. So you need to stay connected, and it's all about nurturing people through that process. Just a connection is not going to do it. You need to be nurturing people through that connection process. So that means you need to stay in contact with people, and it's a lot easier if you can leverage that. So through social media, through email, through direct mail. But if you're tight on a budget and you're a new agent, I would do social media and email to start with, and phone calls. I would leverage phone calls. The things that take the most time are face-to-face. So if you can minimize the things that take the most time and maximize the things that get almost as good of a return, then that's what I would do to begin with, to really get going fast. Tom and Margaret, what are your thoughts about teaming up with another broker, work-wise and money-wise? I think I will be a ton more motivated on a team level. Okay, so partnering, no. I'm totally against. And I'm against it because I have yet to see a partnership over the long term succeed. So what I would do is I would first get like a mastermind group or a mentorship group, not a partnership, and then figure out what your strengths and weaknesses are, and then hire maybe a virtual assistant or a high school student or somebody to start outsourcing some of those weaknesses. Now, here's the deal. If your weaknesses are actually the building relationship part, you're going to actually have to learn how to build relationships. And by the building relationship part, I mean, a lot of the lead generation is about building relationships, but the task doesn't have to be. You know, if you're going to do direct mail, you can hire a high school student to address them or stick labels on them or stamps or however you're going to do that. If you're going to do social media, you can hire a high school student to go take pictures of things everywhere so that you can share pictures of your area and have conversations that you can start like that. But you still need to be the one writing the letter. You still need to be the one having the relationship on social media. So you don't want to ever outsource the relationship. Outsource tasks, absolutely. So hopefully I would not partner with another agent, especially if you don't know what your actual strengths and weaknesses are and what theirs are. And quite honestly, it becomes so unequally yoked in most cases. I wouldn't recommend going there. I just wouldn't. That's usually a quick and easy solution for a lot of people, but it's usually a bad solution. All right, I'm going to click all these. Kim says, I work on my own schedule, but I always feel anxiety that I should be doing more. Oh my goodness, Kim. That is a big one. We feel guilty. We feel almost unproductive. And one of the things I am being coached through Brendan Burchard's Mastery High Performance Coaching. And one of the things that was said today about that is that you need to realize that, well, first of all, you don't live in anyone else's expectations. And second of all, we have this idea that in order to be productive, we must be intense and like, whoa, always busy and always stressed out productive. And there is beauty and elegance in being a calm, productive, successful person. It's incredible. And I've realized that I have more free time. I'm calmer. I have less stress. I don't feel guilty because I know what my one thing is. I know what my focus is. I know who my passion is for. I know these things and why I'm doing this and where my schedule fits in, so that when I do take off my time, especially in the late afternoons, I'm done. I've set that aside, and now it's about me and it's about my time with my family. So You should not be doing more, Kim. Maybe you need to tweak your time. I don't know. Maybe you need to tweak the time that you are working so that you don't feel like that. I don't mean working more hours. I mean changing what you're doing. That might be an element, but definitely be very mindful. When you're at work doing productivity stuff, you're there. When you're not there. Let it go. Let it go and live each moment of your life. Okay, I was just saying, oops, yep, Myra got me back. Okay, Carolyn has me back. Kim has me back. Tom has me back. Haley. Yeah, Haley, I think one of the hardest things we do is that we self-punish. And we can't. We need to self-critique, but we don't need to self-condemn. There is a difference. We need to be honest with ourselves and go, yeah, okay, I'm wasting time right now. And I've learned how to do that. Oh, I'm just wasting time right now. I'm just browsing Facebook rather than working. I need to get up and go do something else. So we need to be, self-critiquing is different than self-condemning. I don't need to be shaming myself because I'm doing that. I need to recognize it and go, oh, yeah, it's okay for me to do that right now. I'm okay with that. Or two, I need to go do something else because I'm not okay with that right now. And I will feel guilty if I do that. So that's, you self-critique, don't self-condemn. Very easy to say, not always easy to recognize, not always easy to do. So just, it's about mindset. It's about the words we say to each other, or to ourselves, not to each other. We treat ourselves like crap sometimes, ways that we would never treat other people. So we just need to be aware of that with our self-talk. Tammy says, like, taking time to watch these awesome videos. Yeah, there's always, there's a couple people that I watch their live videos. Now, I don't watch their live videos if their live videos are during my dedicated focus time, but I do watch their live videos when I get a chance. And Brendan Burchard is actually one of them because I do coach with him, or with one of his coaches. And because I really want to infuse what he's learning, or what he's teaching me, what they're teaching me, what I'm learning from them. I want that infused in every fiber of my being. So if something helps get you motivated, something sustains your motivation, then you need to be doing it. Not at the, you don't want to compromise what you should be doing, but if that's what helps you keep doing what you need to be doing, then you need to be doing it. Hopefully that made sense. Anyone else? Any other things? Any other questions? I've got 2 other events today for my members. A new member orientation, and we actually have a Facebook live Q&A. We don't actually get on the computer on video, but I answer all their questions for an hour or so, and I need to get ready for that because that starts at 12 noon my time. Any other questions, you guys? Any other thoughts? Are there any things that you think that you maybe need to hold captive? Is there a thought that you're having? Is your inner self telling you you can't do this? Listen closely. Is your inner self throwing up roadblocks? If you're willing to share, yes or no, that'd be great. I'd love to see it. I'd love to hear it. And let me know, because I notice sometimes that it's about mindset, but sometimes you don't hear it. You don't always hear it. And if you're really quiet and you're down there listening to what you're saying to yourself inside, sometimes I'm shocked. Oh my goodness, I'm saying this and I'm taking it like this. That's not good. Myra says, totally infused. That's what I am with your teachings, Christina. Yes, I love to be infused in it because then I start just living it and it becomes part of my life. Haley says, oh, yes, I think mine is 4 months and I'm wondering if I made the wrong decision. Yeah, that's a hard one. That is a hard one. I would challenge you to figure out, I mean, if it's that thought that's kind of going through, if that's what your thought is telling yourself, you keep telling yourself that, how about, this is where we have to grab that thought, hold it captive, but not only hold it captive, we have to put a new thought in there. And it needs to be an encouraging, positive thought that, yes, I got into this so I could do and be X, Y, Z. This was the right decision. And just leave it at that. It's going to take, and then go on and say, this is going to take work. I know this. I'm ready for it. I got into this because of X, Y, Z. And so, and every time you even feel it, sometimes we don't even think the words, we just feel the words, feel their effect. So every time you feel that, what I'm going to call negative thought process, change it. Figure out what you're going to say to change it to yourself and say it and feel good at the same time. So feel the positive part of it. Instead of that negative, feel that positive energy that comes from excitement, why you got in, that same excitement, why you got in the first place. Feel that when you're saying that. I also challenge you to say it out loud. Say the what you're changing the negative aspect with to the positive. Say it out loud. And I would put it on. I mean, it's gonna be silly, but I would put it on. I use these are 3x5 Post-it notes. I have lots of colors, and I use these. And I put them everywhere. My poor family, but I put them everywhere because there are times when, gosh, I just need to be reminded why I'm doing this, because when we're in the grit of it, when we're in the part that we just don't like, we're like, oh, I don't care. I don't care. And so, you know, are you willing to throw away that excitement, that energy, that reason that you got into it because you don't feel it right now? And so that's what I always tell myself. Am I willing to throw away whatever that is, whatever my goal was for this moment? And I realized when I really listen to it, I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not. And that helps me. Mark says, I'll make a connection and then not hear from the person for a couple days and then start telling myself that I did something wrong. That causes me to step back instead of forward. Oh, yes, I understand that. I do. You didn't do anything wrong. Keep making the connection. Keep going there. And I know we kind of tend to, because it's like, oh, they've rejected me. And I know you're not saying it like that, but that's how we feel. It's the feeling, that's the feeling that we feel. So just make sure that you know that, guess what? It takes 7, 8, 9 times, maybe 90 times connecting with people because they're busy. They don't think about it. I mean, I'll give you guys an idea. We're in the process of buying a car. We have not bought a car or a vehicle. We're not buying a car, but we haven't bought a vehicle for 11 years, 10 years. And thankfully we know somebody in the car industry who happens to manage one of the largest dealerships in the area. And, we know him, we trust him, we like him. And it's been interesting because when we've gone to other dealerships, they tend to take your name and information and follow up once. And that's it. Maybe twice. And they don't realize that this is a process. We're not fast. When we're spending this much money, we're not fast people. We're also not kind of like your norm. We're not thinking in terms of payment. We're thinking in terms of the cost of the vehicle. And so it's interesting, just the perceptions of how they work. And I guess a lot of people buy cars really fast. We don't. That's a lot of money. And so my point with this is that people buy houses all different ways. It's usually based on emotion. They get caught up. But you want to make sure that you're there through that whole process. I mean, we went and drove new vehicles. We're going to go with used. We've always gone with used, but we went and looked at new just to see if there was a model year, a different model that we wanted, etc. So we're doing all that stuff, but we went to the person that we knew. So he knows what we're doing. But I guess my point with all of this is nobody's following up. Nobody's being consistent. So in real estate, it's not because I'm rejecting somebody that I don't respond initially. It's probably because I'm still in the decision process, or I'm not sure, or I don't know what the next step is, but I'm too embarrassed to ask, or I'm afraid of revealing my hand, especially with a car, it's different. So I just want to encourage you that keep following up. It is not you. They are not rejecting you. They're not saying no to you. They're probably not even saying no to a house. They're actually just saying, they might even not be saying anything. Like, we can't do anything today. So we have the person who we're probably going to end up buying a used vehicle through, sending us stuff, and Chuck just responded and said, okay, we can't do anything today. We're too busy today. So that wasn't a rejection. I hope that this person follows up the next day. So it's kind of it just stays on us about that, but just keep pushing through. It's not a rejection of you. It's not. And it's part of that. We want to see results in a way, like we want to see a response. It is a relationship. So, relationships are two ways. So that's I completely understand it. And I was just hoping that our experience right now will help you see that, we still want people to follow up with us. I mean, we were looking at replacing our RV a couple weeks ago. And then we had troubles with our car. So that changed what we were doing. But what's interesting is not a single one of the RV people that we talked to has followed up at all. That's been interesting. So, it's just keep following up, keep going, keep following up. They need you to. They get busy. Any other questions, you guys? Looking at the questions on the computer to make sure I'm not missing any. I think I'm just about done with today's. I need to get ready for the Q&A for my members. Yeah, Mark, you're welcome. I hope that helps you. I kind of rattled on about a lot of things, but I hope that helps you. All right, guys, I'm going to say goodbye. I don't actually have a call to action. I always tell you to have a call to action. I don't have a call to action other than just saying hi in the comments. I don't have a resource for you today. I just want to talk about this with you guys. So have a fabulous afternoon, and I will see you tomorrow on tomorrow's live stream. Hold on. If I can remember to focus on the activities and not the results, my life would be awesome. Oh, my goodness. Yes, Myra. Focus on the process. Focus on the activities and not the results, because the results come. I get about every 3 weeks, Myra, I go through a couple of days where first I'm surprised at the results because they're always good. And then I'm always like, well, I need more. I need to do more results. And then I get disappointed. So it's like I almost punish myself for enjoying what was going on. And I forget to focus on the process again. So yes, just keep reminding yourself it's about each moment. It's about the process to get where you need to be, or where you want to be, where you need to be. All right, you guys, I will see you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific for another live stream. Talk to you later. Bye.